rapper Lil Durk is charged in a murder-for-hire plot.
This comes only hours after 5 people associated with his music business were also accused and taking part in that murder-for-hire plot. Now, the plot targeted rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed in 2022. Investigators believe it was retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von.
King Von, Lil Durk's biggest blessing and burden. From being an opener and only charting with bigger artists to #1 albums and Grammy nominations, Lil Durk's career has taken a dramatic rise. Lil Durk has been grinding since 2011, but it wasn't until 2021 that he truly broke through to mainstream success. However, this success came in the wake of tragedy, the death of one of his closest friends, King Von. The loss of King Von put an unprecedented spotlight on Lil Durk, one that no record label could have ever orchestrated. Von went down in history as one of the most feared and respected gangster rappers of his era. He was shot and killed on November 6, 2020 in Atlanta by Lil Tim, a close associate of rapper Quando Rondo, who in turn is affiliated with NBA YoungBoy. Given NBA YoungBoy's intensely loyal fan base and Von's reputation for dissing his ops, Von's death quickly became a subject of online trolling. Von himself was notorious for get back and often mocked deceased rivals, most notably Tuka. But after his own death, the internet flipped the script. Pictures of his lifeless body were leaked, memes spread rapidly, and his close friend Lil Durk was pressured from all sides, from fans, industry figures like 6ix9ine.
I really want you to go look at somebody's net worth. Somebody who didn't slide for their man. Go check their net worth, you hear me? This is really my lifestyle. I really got you. Yo, bro, listen.
And even NBA YoungBoy himself to retaliate.
Push back, you better not ever try it again. Play with me.
Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy took over the internet as they were going back and forth with one another. Despite the trolling and immense pressure, Lil Durk channeled his emotions into music. On December 24, 2020, just over a month after Von's death, he released The Voice, a tribute album to his fallen friend. The album was a turning point for Durk. It sold 23,000 units on its first day, the biggest opening day of his career at the time. In its first week, it moved 86,000 units, peaking at #2 on the Billboard 200. To put that into perspective, Just 'Cause Y'all Waited 2, released in 2020, sold 57,000 units. Love Songs for the Streets 2, released in 2019, sold 44,000 units and peaked at #4. The Voice nearly doubled his previous top-selling projects. In 2021, Durk achieved his first #1 album with The Voice of the Heroes, featuring Lil Baby, selling 150,000 copies in its first week. That same year, he also had 40 Billboard Hot 100 entries, more than his combined total from 2011 to 2020. He went on his first arena headlining tour with Lil Baby, featuring special guests like Nicki Minaj. Durk was now bigger than ever, but with success came expectations. On the same day King Von died, Durk's feature on Pooh Shiesty, Back in Blood, dropped. The song emphasized revenge and street justice, putting even more pressure on him. Fans constantly called him out, questioning why he hadn't retaliated. Durk addressed the criticism in Who Wants Smoke with Nardowick, G Herbo, and 21 Savage, venting his frustration at the online narrative. But things escalated when NBA YoungBoy directly dissed Von in Bring the Hook in January of 2022. Durk fired back with Aha, the lead single from his album 7220. He warned YoungBoy to keep Von's name out of his mouth and spoke on his recent losses, including his brother D-Thang. However, critics still labeled him an internet gangster, arguing that he and his crew were making diss tracks instead of handling things in the streets. On August 19, 2022, Quando Rondo's close friend and cousin, Lil Pab, was shot and killed in Los Angeles.
Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Rumors immediately swirled that this was Durk's get back for Von. While there is no concrete evidence tying Durk to the shooting, the timing and ongoing beef led many to speculate. For the first time, Durk was no longer just seen as a rapper talking about street life. He was now being accused of orchestrating violence. Despite the chaos, Durk kept winning. In 2022, he dropped his album 7220, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, marking his first solo #1 album. His follow-up album, Almost Healed, released in 2023, outperformed 7220, charting 15 songs simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave Lil Durk his first Grammy for All My Life featuring J. Cole. But as Durk's success reached new heights, his past caught up with him. In October of 2024, Lil Durk was arrested on murder-for-hire charges related to Lil Pap's death. While he had successfully avoided major legal trouble for years, his close affiliation with King Von and the street expectations placed upon him may have ultimately led to his downfall. Lil Durk's career is the definition of a double-edged sword. The death of King Von propelled him to mainstream success, but it also placed a burden on him that few could carry. While he achieved everything he had worked for over a decade, his ties to the streets never fully let him go. Whether he beats these charges or not, one thing is certain: King Von was both Lil Durk's biggest blessing and burden.